Have you ever wondered why celebrities would voluntarily leave this world? Like, how are you unhappy when you have everything anybody could wish for? The money, the fame, the accolades, the success. But time and time again, we see people in very fortunate positions still leave this world by force or by the drugs they were coping with. And that's when I discovered you can be rich, but still poor. You can live out your wildest dreams and have all the success that you ever wanted, but still feel empty. Now, from a literal sense, this is true, and it's known as the high income, low wealth paradox. And many high income earners might be living paycheck to paycheck because they increase their expenses every time they make more money, and this is otherwise known as lifestyle inflation. However, I am not talking about this aspect of being poor. When I say poor, I'm really talking about being poor in your soul, being poor in your mind, thus being poor in life. Now, some might say, I'd rather cry in a Lambo than in a Toyota, and that's true, and trust me, me too. Until you start seeing the Lambo as the Toyota. Despite your material comfort, you are so poor that you cannot even perceive the luxury anymore. That sounds like a curse to me. Now, recently I've been hanging out with a few multimillionaires, and it seems that they all agree with this one quote, and that is, only a poor person would think that money solves all your problems. And honestly, this really didn't hit me until I experienced this for myself a few years ago. We all hear about how money doesn't make you happy, but to me, I was like, how? It doesn't make sense. Once again, until I experienced it. I reached a level of financial success in which I was always hoping for, dreaming for. I could, in reality, buy whatever I want. And one of those things I did buy, which was a C8 Corvette, brand new, in cash, no loan, nothing. And I thought it would bring me fulfillment. And funny enough, I ended up selling it a year later. Now, not only that, but I realized that I was actually a lot happier when I had less. And it wasn't making sense to me. I couldn't figure out why. And the crazy part is, it's not even just me. Even recently, I was watching this video where the guy owned a watch company by the name of Movement. You guys probably have heard about it back in 2018, 2019, 2020. Huge watch brand. He ended up selling it for $100 million. Like, think about that for a moment. Think about waking up with $100 million in your bank account. Think of all the trips you would take, the freedom you will have, the things you would do, the people you will be with, the life you would experience. But even him himself, after a few months of that, he found himself being depressed. Like, fathom that for a moment. You have $100 million and you are depressed. How is that even possible? Don't worry, we're gonna explain that in this video. But not only him, but another creator in which I know, his name is Jordan Welsh, he explained in a self-titled video how he also sold his company for millions, yet he is now depressed. This literally makes no sense. However, I've discovered two major things, and that is number one, a lack of purpose combined with number two, a lack of spiritual fulfillment. Now, I'm not going to get too deep into the spiritual side, but do understand spiritual doesn't have to be just following a religious practice. This could be God, the universe, nature, or just having a higher sense of purpose. Practices like prayer, meditation, or even spending time in nature can help you feel more connected and help you feel more spiritually filled. Also, giving back, helping people, and contributing to something that is purely just bigger than yourself, all that will help create a deeper sense of fulfillment. Even aspects of gratitude, being thankful for where you're at right now, even if you're not in a position to where you want to be, you probably have something, not probably, but you definitely have something that somebody else wishes that they had. But let's talk about purpose, which is something that every single man needs in his life. And the way that I define purpose is simply the process of working towards a desired outcome that you have a deep desire for. Think about the things in your life right now, your goals, your aspirations. If you find yourself working towards it every day with a deep desire, being excited to wake up every day for it, that in itself is your purpose, even if you're not making money from it. And every single day, we all need to wake up and feel a sense of purpose. And I remember the purpose for me for a long time was just my fitness training. Like, every single day, the highlight of my day was going to the gym and working on my bodyweight skills. However, I got to a point where I feel like I accomplished everything there was to accomplish. This is equivalent to the guy selling his company for $100 million. You won at life. And so I felt like I won in the calisthenics world. I was able to do so many skills that people were aiming to do. I had a successful business teaching it too, and I felt really fulfilled doing it up until I got to the point where I felt like I accomplished everything. And over time, I realized that I would actually hate going to the gym, and I would literally dread it. And this was unlike me. This wasn't something that I was used to feeling. In fact, my workouts went from about an hour and a half long to max maybe 20, 30 minutes. Some days I would skip. And that's because I achieved my purpose, my goal, and I didn't have anything new. And that's when I realized also that once a goal is achieved, you now need a new purpose, and the purpose in itself will never end. This is why we see people who sell their company for $100 million and start a new startup. This is why we see people who have the success in one area, but they're still going, they're still doing more and more and more. And some of you guys might ask yourself, like, why does this person keep going? You want at life, bro, slow down, chill out. That's not the way it works. And this person preemptively already knows that if they stop going, if they stop trying, if they stop having challenges for themselves, they too are going to fall into that state of depression. Now, another example I'll give is that I wanted to hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube. And obviously I have done that, but the purpose doesn't end there. And obviously I'm still creating despite reaching a subscriber goal. And now my new purpose is to build something that's truly amazing and great that can impact the lives of others, which is why I started my new platform, AI Austin Coaching. Now, if you guys don't know what this is, let me tell you real quick. This is definitely the best self-improvement platform there currently is right now. This is not a phone application. It's not even a course. This is all done through Telegram, and you can interact with the AI version of me. But not only that, you can use our many established features that we're building out every single month, including our face analyzer, which will help make you more attractive. You can also do a deep SME analysis, and we're building out more and more features every single month. It's absolutely free to try. And like I said, this is the best, if not going to be the best self-improvement platform out there for men. Tap the link down below, check it out, engage with a few messages, and let me know how you like it. I'm gonna leave a link down below. Now, in the workout world, you'll hear something called gaintaining, maintaining, I'm just maintaining. And I truly believe there's a maintenance myth. And that's because if you're not growing, you are dying. If you're not creating, you are disintegrating. As simple as that. You always have to be putting something out into the world and or putting something into yourself in order to help you grow and develop more. You know what's crazy? Most people don't even read a new book after high school or after the point in time to which they don't have to read anymore because somebody's telling them to do so. Isn't that absolutely crazy? Imagine if I never opened a book after high school. My knowledge base will be so severe. And that's because even after I left school, I told myself the knowledge never ends. And I understand that if I'm not growing internally, I'm also dying. So never try to maintain. You always have to be pushing yourself to grow mentally, emotionally, and physically, and that will also lead to more fulfillment. Also, I never liked the idea of retirement. Now, it really depends on what you mean by retirement. A lot of people have the idea of just doing nothing, sitting on the beach. And I promise you, no matter how long you spend on the beach, it's gonna get boring. You're gonna ask yourself, what the hell am I doing? I need to go start some other project or go do something. Even if you're traveling, eventually you're gonna get to a point where you're done seeing everything. You done experienced everything. It happens to everybody. Like, really think about it. Imagine doing nothing all day, but you're rich. Like, it's no point of it. It's literally no point of it. It's boring. You need some sort of purpose. And if you are bored, you probably will get to a point where you will self-sabotage, because we all know that idleness is the devil's workshop. Meaning that when you're bored, when you have no purpose, when your mind isn't focused towards something, you will engage in self-destruction, sabotage, through your habits or through vices. So you probably have heard about something called the Maslow hierarchy of needs. Probably saw this in school, probably didn't pay much attention to it, but there's so much truth in it, and I kind of want to go over it real quick now. At the bottom here, we have psychological needs. So basically your basic needs in life: food, water, shelter, clothing. Most people take these little things for granted. However, if you're in America or in a first world country, even in second world countries, you have no issue with establishing your psychological needs. Moving up next, we got our safety and security. You know, our health, employment, property, family, social ability. Imagine you have all the money in the world, but you're in bad health, right? There's actually a quote. It says, would you rather have $100 million if you knew that you couldn't wake up the next day, or be broke but still wake up? Obviously, people would rather choose life and good health than all the money in the world. So with that being said, safety and security is perhaps the most second important thing. You can have all the money in the world, but if you're not in good health, it literally doesn't matter. And then love and belonging. So this one is really important because friendships, family, intimacy, and the sense of connection is very, very important. And I feel like people who also might fall into a lot of money might find themselves in a lot of isolation because they have no friends, they can't relate to people. And literally envision a world without people. No people, you're just on this earth by yourself with millions of dollars. Life would also be meaningless. So that's why relationships are so important too. And even myself, I funny enough, and I might tell the story in another video one day, but I wanted to get a 9-to-5 job despite how much money I was making, because I felt like I had no sense of connection towards anybody. I was isolating myself. And then when I would hang out with people, they were always telling me about their work parties, their work trips, or this happened at their job, or this situation happened. And I found myself being envious despite me making 10 times as much money as them, simply because the fact they had better relationships, and through the better relationships, they had better stories. Versus me, I was really isolating with, content work and remote work. It just brings a different sort of lifestyle. And so I'll touch on that on another video, but do understand that relationships are super, super important. And then at the top, we got self-esteem, confidence, achievement, respect of others, the need to be unique and individual. Makes sense. And then lastly, self-actualization, which is our creativity, acceptance, experience of purpose, which is at the top, which as it should be, and meaning and inner potential, right? So take a look at this hierarchy and ask yourself, what do you currently have, and or what are you potentially missing? And I do personally believe that all this is true. Once we have all these 5 things figured out in our lives, that's when we'll also feel just overall the most happiest, the most fulfilled spiritually, and have the most joy. And it doesn't matter if we're making a lot of money or just a little bit. Now, going back to the idea how you can be rich and poor, a lot of people don't realize that you can absolutely self-sabotage after wealth, and a lot of people do it. A lot of people do it through their habits, through vices once again, and it can stem from a lot of mental health issues, psychological issues, self-esteem issues. And we see many examples of this, right? Whitney Houston, for example, Amy Winehouse, Juice WRLD, Prince, Heath Ledger, Mac Miller, even Michael Jackson. They had the money, they had the fame, but all the wealth in the world couldn't fill the emptiness inside. It's unfortunate, but it's so, so common. And I think this should be undeniable proof that it's absolutely possible. Now, one celebrity who I think follows the purpose-driven mindset really, really well is actually The Rock. The Rock is somebody where he's been active in the industry for 20 plus years, starting off with the WWF, moving to the WWE, to moving into Hollywood, to now moving into other aspects in terms of creating brands, starting this brand, soap, liquor. What else he got? Under Armour. Like, he's involved in so much stuff. Waking up early, the Iron Paradise, as he calls it, being active on social media. I think The Rock himself really understands that purpose-driven mindset, and how he really isn't comfortable with where he's at, though he definitely is satisfied. And The Rock, I truly believe he's damn near close to being a billionaire if he's not already. Another example would be Arnold Schwarzenegger. I think he's like the premier example if we're talking about people who came really from nothing and then just started winning at life in so many areas and kept that purpose-driven mindset, no matter if they already won or not. Now, like I said, there can be many other reasons, such as stress, pressure, comparison, or even having huge responsibilities, which I'm sure a lot of these celebrities have. But the solution is simply having the purpose and understanding the power of our minds and how much control it actually has over us. Because no matter how much money you have or success you experience, you must keep yourself purpose-driven and spiritually fulfilled, and take preemptive action on it daily. And once you do this, you too will understand that you can have millions in your account and still be bankrupt in your soul. The truly poor man isn't the one without money, it's the one who thinks money is all he needs. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to check out AI Austin Coaching. I'm gonna link down below in the description, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Peace.